What's poppin'? Welcome back to the Tubecast. I greatly appreciate everybody for coming through, listening, checking out the channel, the whole nine. I greatly appreciate it more than y'all believe, man. Straight up. Now, let's get into the topic at hand. Def Jam, Vendetta, or Fight for New York, whatever you want to call it, or Icon, whichever one, right? Icon. You know, the thing is with Icon, right? The game wasn't garbage. I mean, they tried something. They tried something new with that game. You know what I'm saying? They made it, especially on a 360. You know what I'm saying? There was like a little feature in that game on a 360. If you played your own music in the background, the stage reacts to your music. So you know what I mean? Like, so you can hit the turntables, like all that with your music. Like, I remember that. You know what I'm saying? That was like a little hidden feature as far as the 360 version goes. But that game was not messing with the PS2 and the Xbox versions, or even the PSP, right? It just wasn't in the same class. But it was a solid game. It's just they went completely away from the formula. But my question is, do you want Def Jam to come back, and will it succeed? Now, I would love for Def Jam to come back. You know what I'm saying? Hip hop is in a pretty whack state right now. So, I mean, it's probably now, I don't know, you know what I mean, how well it will do now. Especially, you know, at this point, that's a retro game. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, the new gamers might not even want that. You know what I'm saying? It might be like, man, who wanna, you know what I mean? But I do think Def Jam, you know, Vendetta would be official if it came back out under like playing the way it used to play with new graphics, right? Because, you know, we got a lot of, but you know, and the thing is, you can think about all the artists you could put in there, you know what I mean? Because all them artists, I don't recall them cats being signed to Def Jam. All right. I'm talking Mac 10, Dub C, all these dudes. I don't recall, maybe I'm missing something, but I'm like, they never was signed to Def Jam, not that I recall. You know, well, Scarface, was he Def Jam himself? I don't know, but still, you know, maybe they had some affiliation. I don't know. But even when you go to, you know, Icon, you had Jeezy in there, you know what I mean, The Game, T.I. I don't recall seeing a Def Jam label on the album. So, I mean, you could put, I would like to think you can put any rapper you want to put in there, right? They could definitely come out with another Def Jam. What I would do, though, I would literally just on some Test the Waters type stuff, just remaster the second one and put that out. I mean, now I know licensing and all that stuff is different. Now, I think one of them Grand Theft Auto games, I think San Andreas had to remove some songs from certain games and all of that because, you know what I mean? Licenses, you know what I mean? So I don't know how that will work. But, you know, I think that, you know, what you could do with like a game like Def Jam Fight for New York, which is the classic, that's a classic, okay? You know what I mean? We seen Marvel vs. Capcom come out with a fighting collection, one of the greatest collections of all time, dude. Marvel vs. Capcom have one of the greatest collections of all time. All them games is mad expensive. All of them. You get all of them for like $50, man. That's like the greatest, if not one of the greatest collections of all time. You know what I'm saying? So I think that if EA Big or EA Big don't exist no more, if I understand, but either way it goes, still EA. If EA came out with Def Jam Fight for NY remastered for like $20 digitally on the PS5 series, whatever you want to do, you know what I mean? And they put that in the store for $20 HD remastered, that game would sell. And I think that will test to see if people want that, because that game's a classic. You put the online play in there, keep it the same, just HD, like clean it up. Keep it the same, sell it for $20. You might get away with something for 30. You know what I'm saying? Because the game now, you know what I mean, you got to spend over $100 for it. You know what I mean? Point blank, period. Just that simple. You know what I mean? So I'm thinking that maybe if they came out with that thing remastered digitally on the new consoles with online features, I think that game would sell, and that was test to see if they want that title. You know what I'm saying? If they want that game comeback, because they could do a lot. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm all about, especially with the memory in today's game, I would prefer them to go back to the PS2-ish style graphics, but clean it up so you can put more into the game. Because those graphics now, even if you play the game now, man, that game still hold up. You know what I'm saying? You could obviously upgrade it, you know what I mean, a little bit, but you don't really, a game like that, you don't really need to make it look all ultra realistic. You don't have to, especially with the over the top fighting styles, because what they did with Icon, it felt like Fight Night Round 3. It play Fight Night Round 3 and play Icon. I feel like that's on the same engine. You know what I'm saying? And I thought that was the wrong approach they went with Icon. The story mode was dope. You know what I'm saying? Their story mode was fire. You could argue that story mode was better than what's on, the other Def Jam. The other Def Jam that's on PS2 and stuff. You could argue that. You know what I'm saying? As far as the whole build a label feature, they had some fire stuff in there. So we not gonna play them games like Icon wasn't like nice. You know what I'm saying? It's just the gameplay is what held that back. The gameplay is what hurt that, to be honest with you. You know what I'm saying? But the game, to me, it's fire. Okay? The game to me is fire. It's just that the gameplay, that's what hurt it. So I would like to think they will want to go back to the PS2 engine. Kind of the same thing with NBA Street. If they was to come back with Street, I would like to think they'll want to go back to the Volume 2, Volume 3 engine. You know what I'm saying? And upgrade the graphics. Even though Home Court wasn't bad at all, it's just it felt like a whole different game. It didn't feel like NBA Street. It felt like something else. You know what I'm saying? And that's the same thing with Icon. I think you got a lot of catch you can put in that game, man. Like, even you can, because I could see, man, I swear I could see like a Tekashi 6ix9ine up in there. You know what I mean? If you're able to afford Drake, you can throw Drake in there. You know what I'm saying? You can even try to get the classic MCs in there, which would be hard probably. I mean, Fight for NY had a cold roster. They had some legends in there and all that. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, they did their thing with that roster, man. If you was able to somehow get Pocket, I know it's a reach. But somehow, obviously, don't have them voiced, or maybe you could do AI, which, I don't know how people feel about them doing AI with their voices. But, as far as like, saying phrases and stuff like that before the fight, you get Pac, Big. Like I said, I know that's a reach. That's Stretch Armstrong reach. I know. But, hey, you get those two guys in there, you in the money right there. You get a Nas up in there if he willing to participate. I don't know if Hove will participate in something like this. Get a Hove in there. I think Joe Budden might want to get the whole Slaughterhouse in. Well, they're not Slaughterhouse no more, but you get all those guys in there. I think Joey will get back in there. I think Royce the 5'9" will be in there. I think Crook will be in there. You could have a boss fight like Suge. You put Suge Knight up in, you know what I'm saying? I mean, Suge Knight would definitely be a boss character, dog. Straight up. You know what I mean? You fight Suge Knight in Death Row Studios? Stop playing, dog. Stop playing. Like, you know what I mean? You could do a lot. See if you get Dr. Dre up in there. See if you can get M in there. You know what I'm saying? See if Kendrick will want to participate in something like this. You get a J. Cole up in there. You get a Common up in there. You get Outkast up in there. I mean, there's so many places you could go with this. You could get Master P up in there. Like, all this. You can get you can go classic No Limit. You know what I'm saying? You can have factions in the Def Jam game. You know what I'm saying? You can have No Limit. You know what I'm saying? You can have Cash Money. You get the Cash Money over there. Birdman, Manny Fresh, Juvenile, Wayne, BG. If they all participate in this, you know what I mean? You can have your Cash Money over there. You have your No Limit. Dipset. You wouldn't want to see Dipset in this. You know what I mean? Cam and all that. Come on, son. You can go classic with it. Know what I'm saying? Wu-Tang? Man, stop playing. You got factions in the Def Jam game. The Wu-Tang Clan, No Limit Soldiers. Dipset, Cash Money Millionaire. Know what I'm saying? Like, you can do all that. You can do all that. I mean, they got a lot to play with. But I would say they would have to take it to, like I said, update the graphics to where it's modern, but you don't have to be too realistic, but make it real sharp and clean. With that PS2 gameplay, obviously with new moves, because you gotta think about it. WWE 2K have, I think, over 200 some wrestlers in that game. 2K24, I think 2K25 supposed to hit on 300. Man, you can put all kind of MCs in this game. If they came out with another Def Jam, I think they could right the ship by going back to that PS2 style. You know what I'm saying? Test the waters with just a digital, I guess a remastered version of Fight for NY. Put that out there for $20-$30 in the digital only. See how that'll play out, and because I think this is hip hop's in a bad state right now, but they can still do it with the older MCs, legendary MCs, and some of the new guys. You can do that. You know what I'm saying? I think that'll work. You could throw a Yachty up in there. You know what I'm saying? You can do all that. Females, you can throw the Ice Spices and all that up in there. You can do all that. Have them all in there. You know what I'm saying? You can fit them all in there because with the capabilities of these new systems, man, and that soundtrack, oh my gosh. My God. I mean, you got to be crazy to screw that soundtrack up. You know what I'm saying? You got to be low-key slow to mess that soundtrack up. With all those MCs in there, man, dog, you could have one of the illest. Because Fight for NY was a dope soundtrack. Take a Look at My Life, Fat Joe. I think that's universally known as the best song on the game. I mean, people, if you go to Fat Joe, Take a Look at My Life. Go there, right? Look at the video, the music video. All they talk about is that stage on Def Jam. That song is known from that game. And I think that was a single. But people know it from that game. So you can think about it. You come out with that game or with a newer Def Jam, that's a great promotional tool for an artist. You know what I'm saying? That's a great promotional tool for an artist. You know what I mean? Like for a certain song that you want heard, like, put it on the Def Jam. I'm telling you, man, that I think that if done right, that game can do numbers. They could do something special if they came out with another Def Jam game. All the stages you could put in there. You know what I mean? Mind you, because they did a lot with the PS2 version, and the Xbox version, you got so much, space to work with. You know what I'm saying? You only got so much space to work with that. But now with these new consoles, dog, you got a lot to play with. And man, they could do something special, iconic with that franchise. You can have managers up in there. You know what I'm saying? Oh, you can do all that. The story mode would be crazy in that. Game. Man, look. I think that they maybe should consider trying to come back out with that. I think they should consider it. I know look, it costs a lot to it costs a whole lot of money to develop games now. And I can imagine what the licenses would be, you know what I'm saying, as far as music and things like that. But man, you get them legendary rappers in there with some of the new guys. But I mean, just imagine Eminem in the game. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, fam. Like, you can have certain iconic places like, man, Detroit, you know what I'm saying? Come on, man. That's made for a fight. You know what I'm saying? Like, Detroit. Let's go to Detroit, hit New York, Chicago. You know what I mean? Like, hit the West Coast, the South. Come on, man. Man, like, they could really do something, especially with all the legendary groups and the legendary labels, man. Dog, they could have the Death Row. Man, come on, dog. Trying to fight through the Death Row faction. Pac, Snoop, Dre, Suge, Lady of Rage. Come on, dog. Come on, man. The Bad Boy, even though, I know what's going on with that. But I mean, you have Bad Boy try to get through the Bad Boy faction. Get through the Dipset faction, the No Limit. You know what I'm saying? All that. Man, look, man, they could do a whole lot with that if they wanted to. You know what I'm saying? If they wanted to. But you gotta think about development costs, trying to get all these MCs on board. if the consumer really wants that. It's a lot to go with it. That, you know what I'm saying? Like, but man, I would love to see Def Jam come back. I would love to see Def Jam come back. Love to see Def Jam come back. That'd be fire. That'd be fire, man. And then think about this: the underground MCs, right? You could have the underground circuit in there and fight the underground guys. You know what I'm saying? Your Immortal Techniques, you know what I'm saying? They could be in there. You know what I'm saying? I can imagine Immortal Technique could be a hard dude to beat in that game. The Cannabises, even though he wasn't underground, but you know what I'm saying? The lyrical miracle guys, you know what I mean? The guys that don't get too much commercial shine, you get those guys in there, man, that'd be crazy. That'd be crazy, man. Dog, like, that'd be crazy, man. Like, telling you, man, you can even throw battle rappers in there, the known battle rappers in there, you know what I'm saying? Like, you could do that. You could mix, because that they know who them battle rappers is, especially the top ones. So you can have a Murder Mook in there. You can have a Loaded Lux in there. You can have Smack up in there. Smack will be fire in Def Jam Fight for New. Come on, man. They could do a lot. They could do it. That game of low key be iconic, dog. I think if they really did it, that game could be iconic. They'll come back with a bang. There's a lot of things EA can do to get back right. You know what I'm saying? It's just about if they want to do it or not. It's about if they want to do it or not. You know, if you bring back the Def Jam, put it and make it, you know what I'm saying, like Def Jam of old. You know what I mean? That can help a lot. Bring back the beloved franchises. NBA Street, bring that back. You know what I mean? In this pure form on PS2. Do that. Make that work. If they somehow manage to make NBA Live, but NBA Live, I think the name is soiled, so I don't think, but it's 3 franchises. Fight Night, Def Jam, NBA Street. If they did those 3 right and brought those back, EA, I think, will be back in good graces, man. You know what I'm saying? And if they relinquish that doggone NFL license, I think that they will be back in good graces with the people. They could. There's things they could do to get back, to kind of get out the. Because I heard they're going through financial issues and stuff like that. But I think every company, in a sense, is going through. They share financial issues in this gaming market. You know what I mean? I think COVID kind of blew the gaming industry up for a minute. You know what I'm saying? But now that's over with, nobody's all in the house like that anymore, just sitting around playing the game anymore. So I think, some of these companies overplayed their hand, dog. You know what I mean? But whatever, that's another discussion for another day. But with EA, if they come back out with those franchises done the right way, handled with care, the ones that people love, even NFL Street. I throw NFL Street in there. I'm not even gonna go sim. You come back out with those games and do it right. Not no cash grab stuff. Do it right. And be like, listen, we surrender this whole monopoly on NFL. We don't, you know what I'm saying? We're gonna go ahead and we're gonna still do Madden, but we're not gonna do the exclusivity thing no more. They do that, oh man. I think EA will be back stronger than ever, honestly, if they did that. You know what I'm saying? And because the people, the whole monopoly of the NFL license is a scumbag move. We know that. You know what I'm saying? That's low. You know what I mean? Eliminating competition sucks, man. You know what I mean? If you confident in what you got, confident in your abilities, you don't need to eliminate the competition. So that was bogus. You know what I mean? So if they do all that, they'll be fine, man. I'm trying to tell you. So I definitely want to see Def Jam come back. I also want to see NBA Street come back. I also want to see NFL Street come back. There's some, like I say, EA got some nice franchises under their belt that they really can resurrect and put themselves back on the map. You know what I'm saying? As one of the, you know what I mean? They could definitely do that. Now, I didn't hear much about FIFA Street. I don't know. I've never even played FIFA Street. I don't know how good FIFA Street is. I don't know the reception of FIFA Street. But, I don't know if that's one of those, them ones. But I do know NBA Street is one of them ones. Def Jam Vendetta and Fight for New York is one of them ones. Fight Night is one of them ones. Okay? So, if they brought those back, man, dog, man, listen, man. As much as people complain about EA, they'll be lined up to get those games. Done right, they'll be lined up to get them. So, would y'all want Def Jam to come back? I would. You know what I'm saying? I would. Holla at me. Make sure you like, subscribe, share the content. Greatly appreciate it from everybody. Peace.